background information or the upcoming scenes wouldn't make any sense.
Happy watching!
This is Critias. He is the mean and tough leader of the 30 tyrants. But don't let that fool you. He can be pompous and rather dumb at times. Alright, enough of that. Let's hear what the meeting is all about.
This is getting on my nerves. Now that we've finally overthrown the Democrats, we are faced with bankruptcy after the war. Our resources are running low. What do we do if the citizens fight against us? Exclaimed Critias in frustration.
Fret not, I have an idea. Why don't we capture some metics and accuse them of treason? Theocnis suggested.
Pison readily agreed. That's right. Those filthy foreigners aren't even Athenians to begin with. Very soon we'll be rich and powerful.
Wondering who those two guys are? They are Critias's most trusted henchmen, Theocnis and Pison. They follow all of Critias's orders to a T. Let's hear what else they are scheming.
Fantastic! Why didn't I think of that? Critias said. But just the 30 of us wouldn't be strong enough. We need an army so powerful that no one will dare stand up against us. Spartan garrisons. Hurry, send some men to Lysander. We need his help.
Meanwhile, Theocnis offered his 2 cents to improve their current plan. Calybius will soon arrive here at Athens. We can recruit him as the Hamost. He will be pleased to be in command of such a massive troop, he said.
P.S. Calybius is the Hamost of the Spartan who will agree to aid the 30 throughout their ruling. Critias was pleased. Now that we have a plan, let's execute it.
Ha 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 ha,
he said, laughing in the way an evil villain does.
Oops, sorry. Anyway, on to the next scene. Let's see if their plan did indeed work.
Members of the 30 barged their way into Lysis and Polemarchus' homes. As a noble who supported the democracy, Lysis and Polemarchus were busy entertaining some of their guests.
But watch out, here come the brutes.
You are under arrest, Metic. Seize all his properties and bring him to the gallows, he ordered to his men.
No, please, my lord. Hush, listen. Let me go and you shall be handsomely rewarded, Lysias begged to his captors.
Interesting. Do go on, Pison countered.
Lysias scrambled to think what he could possibly offer and finally decided upon a silver talent. A silver talent, sir. It will be all yours if you set me free, offered Lysias.
All right. Hand it over, Pison demanded with a smug smile.
Poor Lysias. He fell into the trap Pison laid for him, for the cunning fellow had other tricks up his sleeve and immediately went back on his word.
Men, seize that chest, ordered Pison at once.
No, please, my lord, Lysias pleaded. I beg you to leave me some money so I can make my way out safely, please, he continued. Sadly, his pleas fell on deaf ears and the tyrants continued their thievery.
Lysias is apprehended by Pison and Demnippus, who is another follower of Critias, while the 2 oppressors are occupied with capturing other metics. Lysias reaches into his underpants and pulls out something long and throws it onto the ground.
In a last attempt to escape, he tries to distract his captors by speaking out. Look, one of the metics dropped there. Remember when I said that Critias can be dumb at times? Well, here is Demnippus proving he isn't all that bright either. Pison, it really is money, blurted Demnippus. Equally enthralled at the sight of money that they all so desperately need, Pison and Demnippus both rushed to claim the roll of money. In their rush to claim the money, they left the captured Lysias and other metic unguarded. Lysias was far more wise than those 2 idiots, got up and fled. By the time Pison and Demnippus realized what they had done, Lysias was nowhere to be seen. His brother Polemarchus, however, wasn't that lucky. Where do you think you're going, you old fart? Seize him, commanded Theocnis after catching sight of the terrified Polemarchus. You will never get away with this, you imbecile, cried Polemarchus. Get your filthy hands off my chaste body. Your mother will not death, thinking of how she failed to bring you up as a decent human being, he continued, as he vented his anger against his captors. How dare you insult his mother? You useless fart, die! Give me the hemlock now! Aristophanes then proceeds to force the hemlock down Polemarchus' mouth. Poor Polemarchus gave some last gurgling noises before he died. Phew, that took a lot out of me, sighed Critias. We still need to address another matter, brothers. I think we have a traitor amongst our brethren, asserted Critias. Who amongst us would have that audacity? Pray tell, General, Phaeson demanded. Critias' gaze shifted towards Theramenes' direction. Instantly, all other 30 members joined Critias and gazed upon Theramenes. I think the rat is trying to hurry his pole, Critias remarked. Critias and his lackeys convened back in the theatre to boast about the success of their latest plan. A conceited bunch, I must say. Okay, I'll keep my comments to myself.
Your plan worked perfectly, brothers. The gurgling noises of that traitor's last moments still entertains me, praised Critias.
I am pleased to be of your service, General, said Phaeson, certainly flattered by his master's praises. If only we had captured Lysias as well, he continued. Alas, his fortunes will keep our backs warm and our bellies full for a long time.
We have eliminated all of our objectors, made sure that the People's Court has lost all of its power, and have the Assembly and Council under our feet. Even the execution of the sycophants has worked in our favor. Those foolish Athenians truly believe that righteousness has been restored, boasted Theognis. But what shall we do next? He asked, concerned about their next course of plan.
Well said, brother, Phaeson said in agreement. We may have Lysander leading the Spartan army to protect us, but do not underestimate the influence of the aristocrats of Athens. We must weed them out in order for us to be fully in power. Phaeson was certain that in order for the tyrants to be in power, Athens had to be rid of any remaining objectors.
And thankfully, we do not have that pest Theramenes to worry about anymore, remarked Theognis. He has gotten what he deserved for having believed he could be a moderate leader. All that nonsense he spewed about being moral and accepting of commoners only led to his demise. Ha! Guffawed Theognis.
It seemed like all present in the theatre harbored similar feelings as knots of agreement were observed everywhere. That was great execution on our part, added Phaeson. In fact, that spineless Theramenes dug his own grave. Being an oligarch and then turning his back on us lent him no favors with the people. It's no wonder we were easily able to take him down at the trial, said Phaeson, obviously disgusted. That did not mean they couldn't celebrate, however, as they did manage to get rid of Theramenes after all. Hooray to us, the mighty 30, shouted Phaeson.
All the men started to chug their wine after a toast in evident glee. Now, brothers, we still have to focus on attaining all the wealth remaining from the rest of the Metics, said Critias, ever the voice of reason. Those imprudent people won't dare take a step against us, but we must ensure that our reserves are full to warrant the Spartan support, he said.
Yes, it will also send out a message to any remaining conspirators to not stand against us. Whoever dares to oppose us will meet the same fate as those buried deep underground, agreed Theognis. His master must be right after all.
Cheers hailing the reign of the 30 tyrants reverberates through the entire room as the tyrants were oblivious to the impending doom. Within the confinements of a secret refuge positioned in Eleusis, we find the frazzled members of the 30. P.S. They were in hiding because they had overestimated their power and were instead trapped in a territory that had hated them.
Where are my troops who were sworn to protect me? Where have they all vanished to when I need them most now? Bellowed Critias in anger.
No one dares make eye contact with the general, for they were fearful of his wrath.
Thrasybulus has managed to take control of the fort of fire. We are holed up in this place when that revolting worm parades his troops in front of my face. How embarrassing, he lashed out. Melobius, he ordered.
Yes, General, replied Melobius stiffly.
Order my army to round up all the capable men in this town at once. Make sure they are taken care of silently.
Where shall I escort them, General? Queried Melibœus.
To the execution chamber, imbecile. See that they are removed off, or you can join them as well, he instructed in continued rage.
Finally, Melibœus got the message as he scurries off to do as his general ordered. A somber silence filled the room, but a meek voice spoke out softly. What of the assembly, General? How will we convince them? Asked Pison in a soft voice so as to not anger his master even further.
Focus on the important matters at hand, Pison. Those old crooks should be honored that they are in their positions as it is, Critias directed as he waved his hands dismissively. If it is a war Thrasybules wants, a war is what he gets.
Phew, the atmosphere certainly took a turn for the worse as the characters are amidst a battle that is waiting to happen. Let's see if they will emerge victorious.
Thrasybules was the leader of the uprising in Lysias, and his troops were ready in position for attack in Athens. Let us charge forward, cavalrymen. These are the notorious tyrants who drove our loved ones to be in exile. Let us end them once and for all. Restore justice for the ones we lost, commanded Thrasybules in a loud and clear voice. All 700 members of the troop position cannons and get ready to attack the army of Athens. Meanwhile, there's a ruckus going on near the hill of Monicia when the 30 have seek refuge. How dare he refuse my proposal of joining our ranks? Yes, you. Guards, do your duty well and see to it that none of our enemies' heads stay attached to their bodies, instructed Critias to his own troops. Critias remains oblivious to the real situation outside, where his troops have been outnumbered and almost defeated. He still harbored the belief that somehow or some way he will be triumphant. A final stretch, fellowmen. Let us reinstitute a fair rule for our people who deserve it the most, encouraged Thrasybules. Charge! He yelled. The final barrier between the 30 and Thrasybules' troops was overcome with ease as the troops were heavily outnumbered. The inevitable finally occurs as Critias dies from his injuries after Thrasybules manages to break into the theatre of Monicia. The first step was the restoration of democracy in Athens is in motion at last. All the Athenians cheered as they finally were rid of their terrible and dirty tyrant rulers.
Well, as you can see, the dirty 30s oligarchic reign did the Athenians no good.
They suffered terribly, and so did our mistress for not having the women cheer her up.
We now see the importance of democracy now, don't we?
I certainly hope you at least learned something about democracy through this clip. If you didn't, what were you doing all this while? Just kidding, we still love you! Thank you for watching, and this is the 3 Muses signing up. Cut! Got up and fled! Fled!
To a toast in evident glee.
To a toast in evident glee.
I certainly hope you learned something valuable